We have a massive Patriots trade update as New England is in position to acquire a wide receiver in a blockbuster deal. We talk about this guy and what are the stipulations behind him, all the latest right here, right now on Patriots Digest. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. Before we get going, I want to say a big thank you to all of the support you have shown us on our past couple of videos. We're just going up from here, so if you are a part of our new subscribers, first of all, thank you for joining us, and I'm happy you chose to get your Patriots news throughout the 2025 season from us. Also, if you have been watching but have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? It's 100% free. I know that 82% of you who watch these videos, you're not yet subscribed, so do me a favor, go down there, hit the subscribe button. That way you're in the know for all things New England Patriots in the 2025 NFL season, and we can continue to watch the Patriots rise. The latest article from Bleacher Report was an intriguing one. They have this every week, but the Patriots were mentioned in this week's edition of the 2025 NFL Trade Block Big Board. This, of course, is entering into Week 6. Now, for the Patriots, they are finally entering an era where they can be making some moves at the deadline to acquire pieces to hopefully attribute to a playoff run. That is finally going to be back in the New England area for what seems like the first time forever. I know it's not that long, but it seems like the first time in a while. Obviously, the years of Cam Newton and Mac Jones, and even want to go back to Jacoby Brissett for a majority of last year. Drake Maye is here, the Patriots are here, and they can finally start to make these trades and be a part of these trade rumors. So with that being said, the Bleacher Report article talks about a wide receiver in Chris Olave that the New England Patriots should go out and require. We can see that he is the number one trade target on their bid board, and the New England Patriots and Pittsburgh Steelers were listed as potential suitors for Mr. Olave. Couple of things I want to talk about with Olave, but let's start with his stats and what he brings to the team. So 5 games this year, 54 targets, 33 receptions. He's got 1 TD with 244 yards receiving. We'll see him this Sunday when the Patriots take on the New Orleans Saints at 11 a.m. Got a pretty good average yards per reception. I think in a lot of ways, he's still very young at 25, and some of the lower stats this year are attributed to one of two things. The first is that there's not a legitimate quarterback in New Orleans. Spencer Rattler is playing to a better level than I expected, but I do not consider him a legitimate quarterback in the National Football League. If you ask me, I truly believe the Saints are going to go and make a draft pick of Garrett Nussmeier or somebody in this upcoming draft to find a long-term solution at quarterback, because Spencer Rattler just is not it. However, that's just one of the reasons. The other reason that you could attribute it to is really Olave's history and kind of what has been going on. You see, Chris Olave is a very injury-prone player. I mean, if we go look at his stats throughout the past couple of years, he played in 8 games in 2024, played in 16 and 15 in 2022 and 2023, had over 1,000 yards in the 2 seasons that he played over 15 games in. The problem is he's had injuries throughout his entire career, and it relates back to concussions. He's had 5 different concussions throughout his career. This is both, in college and in the NFL. It's something to note because at this point, every time Chris Olave is involved in a bigger tackle or even gets hit in the head, he is forced to kind of go into that blue medical tent just to check, because these concussions start racking up, and we obviously know he has been knocked unconscious a couple of times in these situations. Now, does that deter me away from getting him? No, absolutely not. Concussions are a part of the game. Olave knows that. He's still playing this game because he loves it that much. I do, however, look at this as an option for the Patriots to go to the Saints and say, listen, you're not going to be using him anytime soon. The contract's going to expire. He's not being used properly and somewhat injury-prone. We can get him for a pretty good price, right? That would be the hope in a lot of ways for the New England Patriots to go out and make that conversation starting. But I do want to go to the report kind of talking about this. Christopher Knox of Bleacher Report saying, and according to Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football, teams believe the Saints will be willing to sell the 25-year-old. Olave should be high on the wish list of receiver-needy teams. End quote. So let's talk about the Patriots, and are they considered receiver needy? Somewhat. I think it's a catch-22 in a lot of ways, because I like the play, obviously, when Drake Maye and Stefon Diggs are on the same brain. It looks great. I like a lot of what Kayshon Boutte brings to the table. I think he is going to be a pretty good asset for the Patriots moving forward. I mean, he said it himself after week 1. At one point, he was projected to be a first-round pick. You have him now when you got him like the 6th round. There's a lot of hype around Kyle Williams. Efton Chisholm, a UDFA, still is liked. I have my whereabouts about Pop Douglas. I think DeMario is more or less on his way out. And if you can in some ways replace DeMario or Kayshon Boutte with Chris Olave and pair that guy with Stefon Diggs and Kayshon, you feel like a really good wide receiver team. Like, I like that, and it just adds to the list of weapons of Drake Maye. Last year, it was talked about so much when you need offensive line pieces, you don't want to become the Bengals. Well, this year, he's been pretty good. In a lot of ways, Drake Maye has enough time and enough ability that he can get outside the pocket. He can extend plays. In fact, he has done better at times when he has extended the play and gone outside of the pocket. So adding that, having Chris Olave, and I want to look back more to even his Ohio State days. You look at that guy and you say, okay, he's very good at improvising. When a play breaks down, he is able to, find space and work around. It would be a very good kind of combination with Drake Maye and his abilities as well, especially if you could potentially sign him for a couple years, get a contract going with that. I pause at this moment to ask the question to you guys. Would you believe in a good trade here for Chris Olave? Or maybe put it in better words, would you like the Patriots to go after Chris Olave? Pretty simple as that. If you think you would, if you think this is a good trade, they should explore it. Then I want you to type Y for yes. If you think you don't want Chris Olave, for whether it's injury reasons, you don't believe he's that good of a receiver, you think the price will be too high, I want you to type in for no. Let me know your answer down in the comment section on this matter. Personally, I'm a yes. The one kind of stingy part of this to me is that reports are saying that the Saints are going to ask for a first-round pick or a conditional first-round pick. The New England Patriots are going to be in a better position this year too if they would want to give up their first-round pick because it's not going to be lottery. I, however, do not believe Chris Olave is worth a first-round pick. I feel like that is too high of a price for him. Would I trade a second? Maybe. I think that's a little more in my range, but I would be happy giving them a 3rd and a 6th or a 7th. I'd be happy doing that. 3rd and the 6th, I'd say you take it. It's yours. We'll take Chris Olave. We'll get him a nice contract. Drake Maye has Olave, Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, and Kyle Williams, who still has 4 years. Just a rookie. I actually like a lot of what he brings. For whatever reason this year, Mike Vrable and the Patriots are not exactly giving a lot of opportunities to their rookies. And so in that matter, I really do think Chris Olave could be a very good addition to this team for a majority of reasons. I think his ability to play in a couple of different situations as a wide receiver, he's a deep threat in some aspects. So I think it's something to explore. And if the price is in a situation where you look at it and you think it's good, then go ahead. Like, I think he in some ways would also pair well, given that you have Mac Hollins, because at that point you have Stefon Diggs, who can go deep downfield. You have Chris Olave, who could go deep downfield, and Mac Hollins is some way in a deep ball threat. And Mac Hollins is one of the weirdest receivers to me ever, because he, in certain games, will just go off, and you don't expect it. You don't see anything coming. He'll just come in not wearing shoes from the street and then get a 100-yard game when he hasn't had 100 yards in his past 5 games. Like, I'm expecting a Mac Hollins game here soon enough. It might be this weekend against the Saints. It might be in the next coming weekends. I mean, we play some pretty bad opponents. So knock on wood, we should be able to come out of here. I really look at this schedule. I don't have it up, but I think if you can able to make the right pieces, make the right trades, this is a 12-5 team, guys. This is a legitimate 12-5 team, and they could have been even better had they not literally crapped the floor when they played the Raiders or fumbled the ball 15 billion times against the Steelers. Like, those 2 games that are their 2 losses are easily fixable. Easily. You don't fumble the ball 5 times, you lose by 7. You lose by 7, you fumble the ball 5 times, or turn the ball over 5 times, rather. Just point. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you believe in the Patriots? Is the hype still there after this big game this past Sunday? I want to know your thoughts all in the comment section. But for now, we appreciate you, we love you, and we'll see you next time here on the show. Peace out, guys.